Hey everyone, Nathan here from FBA Empire. Welcome back to another episode of FBA Empire Weekly. This week, I really just wanted to touch on something that has been hitting Amazon pretty hard, and it's actually been hitting Michael and myself as well. Over the last week, you may have noticed that your product has been hijacked. Yes, the inevitable hijacking your product, but it's not in the same way that you normally think when someone takes over your listing. So for us this week, we had I think 3 separate occasions where our product listing had basically lost the buy box. Someone comes in, prices our product at like $8. They take over the buy box and they basically hijacked our listing. They did this for about I think 200 different listings, so it's not like it was just us being targeted. But it did happen on 3 separate occasions, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today, sort of what you can do. Realistically, it's going to happen. I'm sure Amazon is cracking down on this right now, and they're going after these people, trying to find a way to make this so it can't happen. For us personally, it kind of hurt. So what happened with us is we were running a lightning deal, and this person hijacked our listing, took the buy box, lowered the price down to $8. So now for our lightning deal, it was suppressed because the price was so low. So we would have had to sell our lightning deal at like $5 or $6 or something ridiculous, which we wouldn't have made a profit on. So for us, what we did, and I'm not saying I recommend this, but if you need to get the buy box back quickly in a case like this, what I did is I went in and I purchased the product, hoping that they only had one product. So I went in, I bought the $8 product, and sure enough, in 15 minutes or so, 15-20 minutes, the buy box was gone. Was back to us. This person only had the one product listing at the time, so it said, and it gave us back our buy box, and we were able to get the lightning deal, and that was no longer suppressed. Unfortunately, the next day when the lightning deal was actually running, we were hijacked again. This time by a different one. So a couple of the names that are out there was HX or HK Tech Direct or something like that. We were hijacked again by like PU Products or some random name like that. They're saying they're coming out of China, California. And what's really happening with these is basically they're frauds. These are fraudulent accounts. They're never going to ship you your product. You're not going to see the product. They have hijacked all these listings, and they probably have fake bank accounts set up, and it is completely fraudulent. They'll ship them to some other, they'll say they shipped them to some other location, and that's the problem. But by the time you ever get or think you're going to get this product, they've already taken the money and they're gone. So it is completely fraudulent, and I'm sure Amazon is working hard on getting this under control. So if something like this happens, so I did want to talk to you guys about it. So we did learn a few things. I'm going to add some links below this video. So there's one thing, if your product is legitimately hijacked, there's a copyright form that you should be filling out. Amazon has a link to it. It's a simple form you fill out, and if anyone ever does take over your listing, you can use this to sort of say, look, this is the proof that this is my product. If they're taking some sort of Chinese factory ripoff of your product and it's not the same, you can come to Amazon and say, look, this is what this product should be. I want these guys removed. All right, so I'm going to put that link below for the video, and that's something that, just to keep in mind if you ever are legitimately hijacked and people are selling sort of cheap products knockoff products of your private label brand. The other thing is, I'm going to include this link as well, is basically it's just a form to report a user. So like in our case, it's happened 3 times this week when we were hijacked and we lost the buy box. We could fill out this user sort of complaint form, and you submit it to Amazon, and they'll get there. At the same time, I highly recommend calling Amazon. I know Michael was on the phone and may or may not have ripped into Amazon pretty hard when we lost the buy box, especially during our lightning deal. And again, we had to try to get that back during our lightning deal. So I know he ripped into them pretty hard. But what happens is, and Michael's going to talk about this in next week's video, and he's going to show you a way that you can get the most qualified reps with Amazon, and what you need to do to get a good American qualified rep to talk to you and get some of the best service and advice possible. So that's next week's video. So again, guys, just wanted to sort of touch briefly on this. It's been happening all week. You may have seen your product hijacked. It's not it's a big deal, but it's going to solve itself. I mean, some of the ones we've seen, Amazon has taken them from 200,000 other products to completely wipe them out. And you get refunds and things like this. So bottom line, if this happens to you, if you really need the buy box back quickly, you could buy the product and then just refund it later. Refund it quickly because you don't want them running off with your money. So there isn't any issues. You'll get your buy box back pretty quickly. Otherwise, contact Amazon either through the user complaint form, or I recommend calling them directly. Make sure they're aware that your product has been hijacked. That is all I wanted to talk to you about this week. Just to let you guys know that this is happening. So keep an eye out for it. Watch your buy box. Keep paying attention, basically. All right. So next week, Mike will tell you how to get the best rep from Amazon. So until then, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you next Thursday. Thanks.